Now let us see the problem of orthographic projection. Whatever you are observing here, this is the given problem or this is given data. Now we will draw front view here, top view here and left hand side view to the right side. First of all, I have drawn XY line, that is the dark line. Then I have taken X1 Y1 line, and from this center point I have drawn faint line vertically at 10 mm distance. Same is the procedure applied. From this point I have drawn the vertical faint line. Same is the procedure applied for the downward horizontal line and upward horizontal line. First of all, we will measure the distance horizontally. Now see, from this point to the center point, the distance is how much? It is radius 32. From this point to the center line, this is the 32 mm distance. Then from this point to the center line, the distance is how much? 114. And then from this point, center point, the distance up to this point is radius 32, which is given here. Both semicircle is having a radius of 32 and the small circle is having the phi is equal to 22. This phi is equal to 22 means diameter is 22, and for this circle the diameter is 22. Now we will calculate the horizontal distance. Now see here, from this center point to this center point the distance is how much? It is 32, plus from this center point the distance is 114 up to the this center line, means plus 114, plus from this center point to this point radius is 32, means this distance is 178 millimeter. Then we will consider this distance from this point, means from this point to this point the distance is 178 millimeter. Hence I have drawn the faint line from this point up to this point. The distance is 178 millimeter. Divided by 178 divided by 2, that will be 89. I will take the distance 89, that is the center point. Now I have drawn the faint line from this point to this one. This will be the horizontal length 178. Then this distance is how much? 140 from this center to this center line. And first of all we will mark the radius. From this point to this center point r is equal to 32, means from this point to this point the radius is 32, and from this point, means from this point to this center line, this point to this center line, this distance is 114. Then we will calculate the midpoint. 114 divided by 2 is equal to 57. Hence from this point I have taken 57 millimeter distance, and this will be the center. Now first of all we will consider this as the center line. This distance is how much? It is 13, and this distance is how much? This is 19. First of all I will take the distance from this point in the above direction, that is the 19. We are drawing the front view. We are drawing front view. This distance is how much? It is 19. Hence I will draw this line and again faint line and this line. Now let us see this as the front view. I am trying to show the arrow, that is the front view. Now from this side front view, this line is visible, this portion is visible, this portion is visible, this portion is visible. Only this circle and this circle is not visible, hence there will be two dotted lines will be there. First of all, I will draw the front view. Straight line will be there, continuous straight line. Now let us see, this center point means this one and this center point means this one, which is at a distance of 32 millimeter from this point to the center point. Means from this point to the center line it is 32, and from this point the center line is at 32. Now we will take the center of 114. Then from this point I have taken the center line, that is 114 divided by 2. Okay. Then see here, 38 millimeter distance is there from this front view. 38 divided by 2. 38 divided by 2. That will be 19. Means 19 millimeter distance. 19 millimeter distance from this point here and from this point here to the left and to the right. 19 millimeter distance I have to calculate. Then from this point 13 millimeter distance is here. From this point I have marked the 13 millimeter here, and then I will mark the line, this one. This one is the continuous line. This one is also continuous line. Then this distance is how much? This distance is 13 and this distance is 13. Hence I will mark 13 millimeter distance to the left, 13 millimeter distance to the right. This distance is 13 and this distance is 13. Then I will draw the straight line. And I will try to complete the front view. This is what I want. And I have to join this line also. From this point to this line, these points are visible, or line is visible. Hence I will join this line also. Okay. And from this center line, the phi is 22. Means we have to divide 22 divided by 2, that will be 11. 11 to the left side and 11 to the right side, that is 22. Hence this line will be dotted line, that is the two circles in the front view. Then 11 to the left and 11 to the right side. Okay. First of all I will mark the dimension. At the center, first of all I will mark the projection and then I will mention the dimension. Now let us see this and this dimension and this dimension. I am trying to show the dimension, that is 13, with the help of freehand sketch. In the examination you should not use the freehand sketch, you should use the drafter for the proper sketch. This dimension is 32. This dimension is 13. This dimension is 13. Okay, this is your front view. Now let us consider the top view. Take the projections from the front view. First of all, I will mark the center line, this center line and this center line. In the top view, the distance is how much? 32 from this side. From this side, the top view will be this side, and in the top view, these two circles are visible. Hence, I have taken the center line towards the downward direction and this center line towards the downward direction, that is in the top view. Now, this is 32 radius. 32 plus 32, that will be 64. Means this will be the 64 distance. That is 64 divided by 2. Simple. 32 distance we have to take. That will be the center line. That is the center point. 32. Hence I will mark the center line here. This will be the center line. This will be the center line. This will be the center line. This will be the center line horizontally and vertically. Now, first of all, observe it. In the top view, these two circles are visible. What is the dimension? That is, radius is 11 and diameter is 22. With the help of pencil, I will mark the circle. This is the diameter, phi is equal to 22. I will mark the radius here and here. There are two circles are there. First of all, match these lines. Match these lines and then draw the circle. Now, what's about this semicircle? R is 32. R is 32 means we have to consider R is equal to 32. That is the radius. See here, I will take the 32 millimeter distance in the divider and I will mark the semicircle. Then in the top view, from this semicircle, continuous line will be there. This circle, continuous line will be there. Then the middle portion is remaining. We will draw that also. This is continuous line and this is also continuous line. Then we will consider the middle center point in the top view and let us consider the another projections from the front view. From the front view, I have taken the projection. See here, in the top view, this distance is 13 millimeter. Means from this point 13 millimeter we have to consider. Then from this point 13 should be considered. Then I will mark this distance. This will be the straight line. This will be the straight line in the top view. This will be the straight line and this will be the straight line. Now I will mark the Now I will mark the dimension. Now see this dimension. This dimension, that is phi is equal to 22. I will mark this dimension. First of all, phi is equal to 22 for the circle, small circle. Then for the semicircle, this dimension is r is equal to 32. R is equal to 32. R is equal to 32. Distance between these two centers. Distance between the two centers. This distance is 114. This point to this point. Then this vertical distance is how much? This vertical distance is 64, because r is 32, radius is 32, and this distance is, vertical distance is 64. This distance is 64. For drawing the side view, I will take the projections. I will draw the projections horizontally, and then I will transfer it vertically. This point, and this point. Again, this dimension. Okay. First of all, transfer the dimension with the help of divider. I will transferring the projections to the side view, and transfer the projections from the front view. This one, and this will be the center line. This will be the center line. In the left hand side view, what is visible? This 19 millimeter distance will be the straight line here, then continuous line, and continuous line. First of all, in the left hand side view, this portion, and this portion is visible. Hence, first of all, we will draw the straight line. This portion will be the straight line, this portion will be the straight line, this will be the straight line, and this will be the straight line, and this will be the straight line. Now I will mark the dimension. This dimension is 19, this one, and this dimension is 13. This dimension is how much? It is 45. This 45 means this distance 45. Okay, and this 19 means this 19 distance, and 13 distance will be here. Hence I will transfer the distance 13 millimeter from this side, from this point, means from this point inclined line is there, from this point inclined line is here, which is not visible from the left hand side view. And for this small circle there will be dotted line from this point and this point. From these 2 points there will be dotted line. Because it is the hidden part, and we will draw the inclined line in the left hand side view. And which is 13 millimeter here. From this point 13 millimeter should be there. Sorry, it's wrong. Sorry for the mistake. First of all, I will take 13 millimeter distance here, 13 millimeter distance here. Then I will mark the 13 millimeter distance here, and then I will mark the dotted line. Okay, this distance is 13 millimeter. This is left hand side view, this is front view, and this one is the top view. I hope that we have completed the problem. Now see this problem. This is your front view, this is your top view, and this is your left hand side view. Thank you very much. Now see this problem. Thank you very much.